there, guys. Tides here, back from Tennocon. It was a blast. It was so much fun, but I do have to apologize to you guys. I fucked up. I fucked up. My footage is almost all spoiled. The new camera that I got, me foolishly, me being the big dum-dum I am, fucked it up. I fucked it up. Now, how did I fuck it up? Well, I kind of put the case on it. This thing right here. Apparently it mutes all the sound. I didn't know. I didn't know. What? Give me a break. I don't know. A lot of my footage is unusable though, as you can see, or will see. See, this is the face of regret. Kill me. But in seriousness, it was really, really fun. Not much sound. It did happen, though. We talked about a lot of really good things. Also, I fucked up in the fact that the camera that I have charges by USB, right? It's a normal camera. Though my power supply on my laptop is so bad that it didn't charge it. Which turns out is probably a good thing, because now we have some audio. Huge shout out to DE Helen, who pulled out her phone after realizing this thing had died, and she covered it on her cell phone. We do have usable audio there, and luckily that was the part where they really talked about Conclave a lot. As for the rest of it, I've given up trying to subtitle everything. The audio is burnt, it's unusable. But do know that I talked about Conclave. I talked about, and you know what? I think it was fairly positive for the most part. If anything, they wanted to come back to the Conclave stuff, which was really, really cool. Second of all, I talked about 8-man content, aka raids, all that stuff. Kind of went over well. And third, I talked about making clans and alliances relevant again. But here's the rest of the interview, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. I had a blast, and I apologize that I fucked up. I fucked up.
So, yeah. I don't think it's a bad taste in your mouth. I think it's just, it's just the push to fix all the problems as fast as they're happening. Yeah. You know, trying to suss out the problems from the community, because when those exploits do happen, they're not relatively obvious. Like, what the hell are they doing? You know, we check the accounts, we check the things. What are they doing? Right. Just try to figure out, okay, how did they break it?
Or luckily you get an honest person.
And then you have someone who's like, oh, I know how to break it. And you're like, okay, well then let's figure that out. And then it's like, okay, do we plug that hole? How many people does that affect? How badly does that change the leaderboards? How far are we into the event? How much does it matter at this point?
Every time we talk about the scoreboards,
it's just like
our
cycle goes on for hours.
I
can only imagine. Yeah,
we're about to open a new catastrophe across our whole team when we do it. But
you see what our Discord's like too. It's the same thing. Like absolutely. So I imagine both sides are.
Yeah, we should start spying in your Discord.
But the thing is, not me. It's not me.
I think overall we're happy to do it again.
Oh yeah,
and we want to continue
that. To them.
We'll do it.
Yeah, you're the leaderboard king.
Well, I think it brings out a passion from the people that are super dedicated to the games. It gives them an avenue for, like you said, for 2 weeks to kind of really dig down into mechanics and figure out how to break it. And honestly, it's not the end of the world when you guys do break it in an interesting way, because it allows us to see what's possible.
For sure.
One of the things I would ask you, going back to your second question.
Yeah.
How do you feel? One of the problems I have with PvP is the contradiction of long-term progression and pick up and play. And so right now, for me, I'm not sure how Scott you feel about this. I'm kind of uncomfortable about how modding influences PvP.
Right. Oh man, I could rant you. Okay, well, sure. Where do I start? Jeez, I could say my first glaring thing would be when you first go into PvP. Yes, there's a little bar at the bottom. People usually say, "Where's the PvP?" Like I've had like MR 25, 20, even 27 say, "Where's the Conclave console?" Like you don't know. But even though it's there, it's like
you're talking in the arsenal.
In the arsenal itself.
Select mode and go to Conclave.
So I think, and if you just click just play, if someone happens to wander onto that, it gives you just a loadout with your, I think the first Warframe, your starter Warframe you picked, and just your melee.
Right.
That's it. So you're already at an unfair advantage. You just sit around with a stick basically, while people are zooming by you with guns. You can tell right away when someone's brand new. If the MR 0 beside their account isn't new enough. I think that's a thing. Maybe having a tutorial experience. Now, of course, this is a time investment, but that's one thing. Recruit conditioning does exist. It's sort of that training wheels thing. But there's people out there that I know that unfortunately will stay at rank 3 just they have the option of, if I want, I can click RC off and play with the big boys, but then click it on when I feel like Smurfy, and it's like I know it does go away once you get past rank 3, but so I'm not
Is
sure.
there a version of Warframe PvP that potentially eschews the kind of complexity of modding?
Oh, that is a good question.
Because I think the problem is, generally speaking,
Yeah.
in the sort of in the competitive landscape, you have World of Warcraft on one hand, which has progression, right, and heavy gear influence, and then you have most shooters,
right,
where you spawn and you are just the same as me until I find the thing.
Absolutely.
And I think that's kind of my big question mark is do we just take a hammer to that?
Yeah, well, that's actually a really, really, really good point. When it comes to balancing, the whole raison d'etre, I'm even, bringing this up is because there is a huge imbalance there. Now, not even for mods, I would just say just the nature of Warframe, but where do you want to take that? Is this like a Quake kind of thing or Unreal? I mean, I grew up on Unreal. Thank you, by the way. Despite me and my dad hitting the lightning gun, I'm sorry.
There are many of you.
What the heck? Why not? But sorry,
They put it back. They
we got our center back. But I grew up on that game, and then going into Conclave, very much similar to that. So the feel is there. I think that feel is definitely there, but the balance, there is just the time to kill with some stuff that feels rewarding. Say a Bratton. Just out of the box, Mark 1 Bratton in Conclave. The balancing is great in that sense, where a lot of the beginner gear is great. Who knew that Kraken was a great weapon? Very competitive in PvP.
Right.
Who knew that Seer was great?
Because you get your,
It's very competitive. The way they have it, the numbers balanced, decent. There's just a few huge offenders that just feel
what's the
very,
biggest
very.
offender
Right.
right now?
Where do I start? Abilities are its own.
Soul Punch? Necros' Soul Punch?
It's really good.
I remember when the even on sleep meta, because we didn't have a timer pulled that on sleep, and you would just put the other team to sleep and shoot them one by one, and that was the best.
Right, and there's lots. There's purists. I would say there's purists in the PvP, and sort of honor among thieves kind of thing, where if it's a gentleman's game or gentle person's game, you're not going to use abilities. You should just let the gunplay. There's a lot of us who just use the guns, right? And it's sort of seen as a BM or a bad mannered to use abilities, right? So of course, Necro Soul Punch, you can just press 1, knock them over from 20 plus, and then use a Snipetron, stock Snipetron. Just Snipertron.
Snipetron.
Those names.
That's an OG.
And one shot.
Yeah.
The time to kill.
Okay, so I'll do that right now. I'm gonna go back to my computer.
I'm sorry to anyone who loves snipers, by the way. I love you guys, but it's bad, right?
We're getting a new nerf list.
Yeah. And then there's stuff like static core, unforeseen. The static core changes great in PvP. It feels so fun to use. I love it. But in PvP, unfortunately, that huge AoE, you can just close your eyes.
I'm trying to play stuff.
Yeah, I mean the whole Ignis thing, right?
Yep.
With the lens flare. I love the graphics specs, but unfortunately, I can't see a thing.
Your graphics are.
I do play on low. I do play on low. Unless when new content comes out, I crank that shit up. I crank that shit
Well,
up.
there's actually something tonight about the graphics.
Okay.
I used to play Quake that way as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Turn it all off for maximum
size,
frame rate.
Yeah.
That FOB huge.
Yeah.
But other than that, just thanks for having me, guys. It's
Of course.
it is like.
Well,
another-
I hope you like the show. I think we're all really fucking nervous about it as
Yep.
usual.
Can't blame you.
Could die
we,
right now.
we